Okay, the pasuk says in the beginning, Chayei Sora, Vayiyu Chayei Sora, Me'ah Shana, V'Yesrim Shana, V'Sheva Shanim. She lived this and this amount of years. Shnei Chayei Sora. These were the years of the life of Sora. And Rashi says, Kulan Shavin L'Tova. They were all equal in goodness. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah have a little question on this. What does it mean that all her years were equal in goodness? It seems that the question is that she didn't have such a good life, because she went through a hunger. She went through captivity in the house of Parai, in the house of Avimelech, and most of the years most of her life she was barren. It was only when Yitzchak was born that things started getting better. So what does Rashi mean, Kulan Shavin L'Tova? So the Chassidic Torah is saying like this: all her years were equal in doing somebody a tova. In doing somebody a tova, she was always, no matter how difficult her life was, but she was all equal. All her years were equal in doing somebody a tova, and that's what we have to strive to do. Okay. Continuing with Hasidic gems on Parshas Chayei Sora. So Eliezer went to find a shidduch for Yitzchak, and he was Hinei Anochi Nitzav al ein hamayim. He was standing by the well of the water. Nitzav, standing al ein. Ein is a well, a fountain. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah are telling us like this. What does Anochi mean? You think Anochi means I? Anochi means Anochi Hashem Elokecha, which is the whole Torah. The whole Torah, Nitzav, stands. The foundation for the entire Torah. What is the foundation? Al Ein. You think Ein means a fountain? Ein means the eye. Roving eyes is not really a Ben Torah or a Bas Torah. The foundation of the Torah is to be able to control his eyes or her eyes, that they shouldn't rove in places which is not forbidden to look at. Continuing with the Chassidic gems on Parshas Chayei Sora. So he's standing by Eliezer is standing by the well, and he's davening to Hashem. Rebbeinu Shalom, send me a shidduch for Yitzchak Avinu. And he said, V'hoyo hanara asher oimar eleha, the girl that I will say to her, Hatino kadech ve'eshte, please bend over your jug full of water, and so that I should be able to drink. So if she gives me to drink, and v'omra, and she say, v'gam gamalecha ashke. She says, you here drink, and I'm also going to bring water for your camels. That will be the one. That was the tefillah that Eliezer made to the Rebbeinu Shalom to find the right girl, a girl that's a balas chesed, where I will ask her for water and she will give me. She said, not only will I give you, but I will also give you for your camels. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah Rav HaKodesh Me'ishbitza asked the question. Gewalt, he could have had a better tefillah to Hashem. instead of asking the girl for water, he could have just stood there and see if she'll offer it on her own. Wouldn't that be a bigger balas chesed? So Rabbi Kodesh Me'ishbitzer says, from here we see Hayro l'doiros. We see here a psak din for all generations, that if you want something, you got to ask for it. If you want something, you got to ask for it. So instead of standing and waiting for a girl to offer to give a drink, you have to ask for it if that's what you want, and then that's what he had to do. So we're continuing with Chassidic gems on Parshas Chayei Sora. So Eliezer is davening, and all of a sudden Rivka comes walking along, and right away, Vayoretz va'eved likrosa, he runs toward her. How did he know it's her? How did he know she's the one? So Rashi says, Lefi shero sha'olu hamayim likrosa, because he saw that the waters rose toward her. There was a miracle here. When she came near the waters rose toward her. So he knew, apparently, that's possibly Rivka. That's the simple. And the question is, so after he saw this tremendous miracle that Rivka walks by and the waters rise, what's the next pasuk say? He continues with his sign that he made. He says, Hagmiini no. He says to her, he continues, let me have a sip of water. And the question is, why is he continuing with the sign that he made? He saw already a miracle. He saw already that this is the one. So Rav HaKodesh, Rabbi Yisrael Mimojitz, answers, and he says that Shleimus, to be the perfect wife that he was looking for, is determined by midos and not determined by miracles. That's why he had to continue. Even if she's worthy of a miracle, but her midos are the thing that's going to determine whether she's fit for Yitzchak Avinu. For a shidduch, midos is it more than miracles. Okay, we're going to continue a little bit more. In Chassidic gems on Parshas Chayei Sora, on the same Rashi Eliezer ran toward Rivka because Rashi said Lefi sharo sha'olu hamayim likrosa, because he saw that the waters rose toward her. That's the simple. This is a different word from a Rav HaKodesh Reblevi Yitzchak Mibarditchev. Okay, that the question is, how come when Rivka walked by, the waters rose toward her, but when she went down to draw water for the camels, it says Vatishav, she had to draw the water. How come? When she walked by the rivers, they rose toward her. But when it came to draw waters for the camels, she had to draw the waters. Zokto Rav HaKodesh Reb Levi Yitzchak Mibardishev, that to fulfill mitzvahs, we need to exert effort and toil to do it. There's no place for nisim, there's no place for miracles when you want to do a mitzvah. A mitzvah, you got to work hard. And that's why she had to draw the water herself, because that was a mitzvah of feeding the camels. Okay, Chassidic gems on Parshas Chayei Sora. So Eliezer made a certain signal, a certain sign, and he said, the Nara, the girl, that I will say to her, Hatino Kadech, tip over your jug, and I will drink. In other words, give me a drink, and she will answer, Shesei, for Amra Shesei, and she said, drink, V'gam Gamalecha Ashke, and also your camels I will give to drink. That's the one that HaKadosh Baruch Hu prepared. That Balas Chesed is the one that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will have prepared for Yitzchak Avinu. That's the simple. Question: why didn't he test her? It's still a better test. Instead of saying, give me to drink, he could have just stood there and said nothing. And she would come and offer it to him, even if he doesn't ask of it. That would make her even a bigger Balas Chesed. Comes along Rav HaKodesh, Rabbi Yaakov Me'ishbitze, okay, and he says, Yesh b'zeh hayro l'doros. There's a teaching here for all generations that if you want something, if you want that hashpah, that giving is dependent on tefillah and bakosha, which means if you want something, you got to ask for it, you got to daven for it. So even though he could have waited till she offered on her own, but if you want something, you have to daven for it. You want it, you have to ask for it. You have to daven for it. You have to ask for it. Continuing with Chassidic gems on Parshas Sora, the pasuk says that Eliezer was standing by the well and davening that Hashem should send the proper zivuk for Yitzchak Avinu. So it says that the maidens came to draw water, and Rivka was one of them. And it says, Vayoratz the crosser. He ran toward her. How did he know that that's her? So Rashi brings down Chazal. Shero'a sha'olu hamayim the crosser. He saw that when Rivka came, the waters rose toward her. So he knew that she was it. And the question is, if the waters rose toward her miraculously, why did he immediately afterwards, after the waters rose toward her, he continued and with his sign and to ask her, give me some water, and why did he see if she would respond? Why? The Rebbeinu Shalom already responded with a miracle that Rivka is the right one. Comes along Rav HaKodesh Rabbi Yisrael Mimodritz and says that the perfection is not determined by miracles, but it's determined with midos tovos. So even though there was a miracle, he had to continue with his sign to test her midos. Continuing with Chassidic gems on Parshas Sora. Again, according to the Rashi, we just mentioned that Eliezer ran toward Rivka when he saw the waters rising toward her. And the question is why afterwards when she had to go and draw water for the camels, it says Vatishav, she drew the water. In other words, originally she didn't have to draw any water. The waters rose toward her. She just had to put out her bucket. But afterwards, when it came to feed the camels, it was necessary for her to Vatishav. She had to draw the water. Why? Comes along Korav HaKodesh Reb Levi Yitzchak Mibarditchev, and he says, when she was drawing, when she needed water for herself, then the waters went up toward her. But when she went to do a mitzvah to give water to the camels, there you have to exert effort. When it comes to a mitzvah, you're obligated to toil and to put an effort in it. There's no room for miracles. Miracles is when you're for yourself. If the Eibishter wants you to have something, the Eibishter wanted her to have the waters rose toward her. That was for herself. But when it comes to doing a mitzvah, it's necessary to exert effort. Okay, just one more at the beginning of the parsha, which we skipped. It says at the beginning of the parsha, Parshas Chayei Sora, that Sora lived Meir Shana, Yesrim Shana, V'Sheva Shanim. She lived 127 years, and it says Shnei Chayei Sora. Right after that, the Torah writes these were the years of Chayei Sora, of the life of Sora. And Rashi comes along and says, what's this that the Torah added after saying that she was 127 years old? Shnei Chayei Sora, the years of Chayei Sora. Somehow that comes to teach us something different, something new. Kulan, Rashi says, Kulan Shavin L'Toiva. All her years were equally good. All her years were equally good. And the question is, that's the simple. But the question is, were all Sarah's years so good? She had a lot of difficulty. First, she had to suffer through a hunger, and then she was captive in the house of Parai and Avimelech. Most of her years, she was in Akora. She was barren. What does Rashi mean? All the years were equally good. Comes along a Rav HaKodesh Rabbi Shmuel Miradomsk, and he says, when Rashi says Kulan Shavim L'Toiva, doesn't mean that they were all good. It means speaking Hasidishly, it means they were all equal, no matter what difficulty she had in life, but they were all equal to do somebody a taiva, to be good, to help somebody out. Kulan Shavin, all her years, no matter it was barren and hunger and captivity, all her years, all she wanted was to be able to help somebody out and to do a taiva.